All right. As I was saying, today we'll be having one of those life-changing episodes with one of the most young female, inspirational, motivational, phenomenal speakers that I ever met. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome her. I'm just trying to get her live. Finally, whoa, Tito, what's it, Josh Koch? Kwenzekalani? Finally. As I was saying, that today we will be having one of those life-changing episodes. Today it will be very amazing. It will be very inspirational because I will be speaking to one of the most phenomenal speakers that I ever met, to one of the most youngest speakers in the country, most in particular, one of the youngest female in that regard speaker. Pretty. Hey. I'm so happy to have you right now. And I want to just give you this platform to do the things you do best. And over to you. Today's topic, it's okay not to be okay. Pretty face.
Hello.
Somebody help me welcome Pretty. Azisha. I'm ready for you. I cannot wait. The kind of content you'll be sharing with us.
Hi, Mahali. How are you?
Hi. Uyangibona ndinwabile, ndikahle, happy, excited, bubbly. I'm waiting for you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it was such a struggle. I'm so nervous. I am so nervous. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But thank you so much. So you just actually you're doing the best. Like, you're doing the most. You're taking my job.
No, the reason why I said to you, I like the fact that you're nervous. It's because, one, if you want something bad in life, regardless whether how people might perceive it to be big or small, but for the mere fact that you want it so bad and you want to excel in that particular regard, you have to be nervous. If you don't become nervous, then some of the speakers me will be surprised. Because even one of the most successful player, Renelo Lutlonian, once said that each and every time they announce the squad, I'm always nervous because I want to play so bad that each and every opportunity that I get, I want to excel in that regard. Pretty, I'm happy for you. Do the things you do best.
Okay, all right. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who has joined us. My father is here. My mother, my entire family are watching in the other room. I swear. And my father is I'm just so happy that everyone. I'm thankful for you as well. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a challenging and amazing platform. Thank you so much. So for those who don't know, what we're talking about today, or our topic and our discussion, is it's okay not to be okay, right? And I remember when you told me about this topic and you said that I want you to talk about either relationships or the topic it's okay not to be okay. And I was just like, like, I feel like I'm in the right place in my life to talk about how it's okay not to be okay. I feel like a lot of the times we put so much pressure on ourselves for things to work out, for life to work out, and trust. We're always unhappy when we don't see results, and we're always unhappy when we don't see life is going the way that we want it to go, right? And so I want to tell people or share with people how it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be down and out. It's okay to feel like nothing is going your way. And yeah, just be beautiful.
It seems like I'm losing you. I don't know. What's happening? Okay, guys, so I'm just trying to get hold of Pretty to join me again on this fantastic episode. I don't know what happened. Seems like network is failing us. But regardless, as I was saying yesterday, against all odds, regardless of the external forces that may exist, that might not want us to have this session today, because they are afraid, they're afraid of the liberation, because they're afraid of the kind of impact that this kind of session have, or this kind of section will have onto people. But I'm trying my level best to get Pretty right now to join me again on this fantastic session. Because, guys, you must understand that not everybody likes it when such platforms are being shared. Not everybody appreciates it. Not everybody is happy for a mere fact that Bona, they are busy cooking, they're busy doing the things that they're doing, and you are busy with us trying to learn, trying to relearn, trying to adjust, trying to change your mindset, trying to be liberated, trying everything in all means to continuously be impacted, to continuously grow. I'm happy, Pretty. Here you are right now. As I was still saying, that regardless of the excellent forces that might exist, that might not perhaps want to see this show succeed, but this show will go on regardlessly. God has our side. God has our back, as you were saying, introducing the topic.
Hello.
Yes.
My mother is praying in the other room. What's happening with your network? I think it's it's actually me. I apologize. It's actually
No problem. These things do happen all the time. But either way, this is your platform, this is your opportunity, and I'm glad to finally have you on this show.
okay. I wanted to talk about the 3 Bs, right? We were taught this when I was in matric, right? We had this function where we had speakers speaking to us. We had people with PhDs, pastors, and all these speakers speak to us. And one that stood out for me was when this guy was talking about how to be beautiful when things are not beautiful, how to be okay when things are not okay, how to wake up when you are struggling, when business isn't fine, when schoolwork isn't done, and all that stuff, how to be beautiful when things aren't beautiful. And he said that the first B, right, that you have to know when you aren't being beautiful and how to be beautiful in a struggle is you have to bark. And we were just like all laughing, like barking, like, you know what I mean? Like, of all things, we thought that he was going to say like be brave or something like that, right? But he said to us, bath, right? He says, wake up in the morning and bath. This is for you to know and for you to show your body, right? Because we are all we are of mind, spirit, and body, right? And he said that you need to bath to show your body, to show your mind and your spirit that even if things aren't going well, we move, like, because whether we like it or not, right? Life is going to continue with or without you. If I die today, life is going to continue with or without me, right? And I've learned, like, a lot of the times that whenever something isn't well, whenever I am not succeeding, I am not excelling, or whatever it is, I like to sit down and just cry about it, tell people, have self-pity and just all of this stuff. But it really, it doesn't get you anywhere. You have to start feeling sorry for yourself. You have to wake up and take it back, no matter how you feel. Even if you aren't being, well at work, with your friends, or whatever it is, you have to wake up, because the world does go on without you and you are replaceable. So you have to be at your best at all times, right? So you take a bath, you wake up in the morning and you
Thixo waseJoshkoro sekwenze njani? I don't know what's happening, because whenever things are about to get lit, whenever things are about to head hot, when things are about to get happening, network just seems to fail us. But regardlessly, we never give up. It's regardless of the storms, regardless of the challenges, I just can't stop. And right now, I just can't stop inviting Pretty over and over again until we get this show so fluently until this show runs so smoothly. Regardless of the forces I've said, we'll continue. Regardless of what's happening outside the world, regardless of the external forces that might exist, we're continuously moving forward because we are driven by the Spirit, because we believe that the Lord who created us never created us to fail, but created us to succeed. Though we admit to the fact that failure will help in order for us to grow, though we acknowledge that these things do happen in life, but most importantly, life has to go on. So Prito was just speaking about the first B. Surprisingly, I don't know why. It was, Lena, when he said it, I thought it was going to be like, be brave, be bold. And he said, bath. I don't know, but I'll engage her further in this regard. Because, like, bathing really? In this weather? But it's okay not to be okay. Remember, the importance of bathing is for the feeling that you get. Every time you have bath, you feel you are comfortable in your spirit, you are comfortable in your body, you are comfortable in everything. So I'm just continuously trying to get her to join me right now so that we can proceed with the show. Against all odds, we shall succeed. Against all the temptations, against all the challenges, against all the storms, against all the problems, regardless of how big, regardless of how small they are, we shall, we can never stop trying. Because I usually say, I rather fail in trying than to succeed in doing nothing. So we'll continuously try and try again to make sure we get hold of Pretty to join us during this session. Because it's indeed by God's grace that we have this moment in time. It is indeed by God's mercy that we have this session. And we believe in the power that He anointed us, with the peace that He left us. Because remember in the Bible, when Jesus was crucified, or I think it was before or after the crucifixion, He said, peace be unto you. And He also said, oh Lord, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. And unfortunately, we know what we are doing, and we will continue doing what we do best, which is speaking, which is liberating, which is making sure that we deliver the message. Okay, Pretty right now. She is pretty face.
Mukhale, how much have you missed? Because I kept on talking while like I didn't see you anymore. I kept on talking, and then I was like, no, let me fix the situation.
No, you know, the nice thing, and I like it because you continue talking, it shows or it tells me you are led by the Spirit, not by the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, not by the body.
Yeah.
Because once you are led by the Spirit, once the Holy Spirit and the light of God is upon you, everything shall go well.
Yeah.
So you were still explaining the first B.
Oh, yeah.
To say that regardless of how you're feeling, you must always
wake up. Yeah. You must always bath, exactly. You must always bath, right? And it also helps because I remember reading this somewhere that you need to teach yourself to wake up, right? A lot of us after our alarm clocks hits or like our phone hits at a certain time that we have set, we still snooze it, and then we sleep for like for 5 minutes or more, right? Because we don't want to wake up, right? And somebody said that you need to train your brain to do things on time as you have set them, right? You need to say, okay, fine, I may not feel like I should wake up right now, but I have set this time and I need to be somewhere at this time, so let me wake up, right? So when you bath, you teach yourself, like everything may not be okay. Yesterday was bad. I have fallen, I have failed, but I'm gonna wake up, right? And then the second B, right? When he was talking about the second B. And I'm talking about this because I practice it in my life as well, or I have. He said, the second B is you have to brush your teeth. And so now we're just all thinking, Dad, this guy is just playing with us. Like, honestly, you know what I mean? And he said that nobody likes a smelly breath. No one will listen to you. people will try to avoid you if your breath smells. He says, always remember to brush your teeth, always remember to bath, because people don't like someone who smells bad. And for me, I took it this way. People are attracted to success. I'm attracted to good things. I will not be friends with you if you tell me on the first day that we meet that, you know what, I am so sad, I am so insecure, I don't like myself. I'm just like, so how am I supposed to like you if you don't like yourself, right? So when you bath, you brush your teeth, you smell good, and you put an effort, right? It just shows you that, one, it may not be well with me, but I'm making an effort and I am trying to move. I'm trying to move. And it was Martin Luther King, right, who said that in any and every time and in any and every moment in your life, you have to keep moving forward. He said that if you can't fly, jump. If you can't jump, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Whatever you do, keep on moving, right? And I think one thing that we need to learn is that circumstances always change. Situations always change. The only thing that is constant in life is change, right? You won't always be in a place that you're in. You won't always be poor. You won't always be broke. You won't always feel insecure, right? Yes, I'm not okay right now, but I won't always be like this. My situation will change, right? As the sun sets and rises each time, it shows you. And I don't know if you remember, né? But I posted this on my WhatsApp status, right? I took a picture of this, and I said that I'm grateful for the sun because she always comes. The sun is always going to remind you that seasons change, things come and go. I may be here for these hours, but I'm going to leave, but I'm going to come back again, right? And so one other thing that I just want to bring out or just say or highlight is the fact that you should never, ever, ever judge your situation or somebody else's situation. People are too quick to say, I failed. We're too quick to say, she's never going to make it. You know, she's lazy, he's broke, he's all of this, right? And we don't understand that none of us are prophets that way. Only God knows the future, right? So when I have failed, either a module, either I didn't get a job or something like this, anything that I feel like I have failed in, right? I should never be too quick to say, this is my lost. Like, I have fallen here, I have failed. And it really teaches you when you wake up in the morning, as the sun is always showing up, right? You need to show up as well, right? Successful people are successful not because they are the best or they're special. It's because of their persistence. You have to persevere. You have to keep going, whether you feel like it or not, whether they're saying stuff about you or not. And also one other thing that we need to understand, I'm going to go to the third B, right? But I really want to highlight and make sure that we understand this really well. Now, we need to understand that it doesn't matter where you come from, right? Yes, it matters in the sense you shouldn't forget your history and all that stuff, right? But where you're going is your choice, right? Like, I failed in so many things, Mokhale, in my life. I have done so bad in so many things. I felt like I was a disappointment so many times, so many times, right? But one thing that I've realized is that situations change. They don't always stay the same, right? But what is going to stay is what the situation has taught me. There's a scripture in the Bible where, and many people will say a lot of things about the scripture, but I understood it this way, right? It was Jacob, right? And he was fighting with an angel, or was it a man, whatever it is. I've heard so many versions of this, right? But I understood it this way, right? He was fighting with a man, and it was very late at night, and this man or this angel fought with him up until it was in the morning, right? And the angel said to him, okay, I am tired now, we can stop, right? And he said, I will not let you go until you bless me, right? I feel like, as our topic is, it's okay not to be okay, right? We need to learn that in our not okayness, there is a blessing. In our not okayness, there is a purpose. In our, like, sometimes life, you really need to go through something for you to learn something about life, or for you to learn something about yourself, right? So a lot of us want to throw in the towel. We want to cry and say all these things about God and be angry at people and blame people, but really there's something that you need to learn about this. We need to start blessing our challenges, like bless it and then say, okay, fine, I don't need you anymore, and change it, right? But like a lot of us just take these things and we say, okay, fine. So we need to say, I will not let you go until you have blessed me, right? And for someone who's watching and listening and saying, okay, but Pretty, I understand what you're saying, but I've been in the situation over and over again. There are cycles in my family that I cannot break. There are chains that I feel like are holding me back, right? I really need to say to that person that there's something that you need to learn from that. You need to grab something from that. Either there's something that you need to learn, it's a skill, it's a characteristic, something that you need to learn, because with everything, there is a reason and there is a purpose. And also understand that nothing happens without God's knowing. My father always says to me that everything that happens underneath the sun, God knows it's happening. Whether it is bad, it is good, he knows it's happening. And if he sees it fit for you to go through that thing, then it's it's supposed to I'm actually talking so much, but I remembered I used to say to people that I don't know if you have a baby at your house or like kids, or have you ever had younger siblings or or cousins or whatever?
Rating him dala manje. So with that being said, I have raised many kids and I'm still going to do that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So have you ever bought a child or watched somebody bought a child?
Yebo, ngitshintsha amaniphi. I'm old.
Okay, what? Okay, Mukhali. Hey, sorry about that. I used to say that now. I feel like God is like that with us, right? When you're about to birth the child, you always have to check the temperature, right? And you use your elbow, right? And you just like, check. And you have to check whether it's warm enough. If it's too hot, you're gonna put, cold water. If it's too cold, then you're gonna put, you know what I mean? And I feel like in every situation, that's how God is with us, right? Because he knows everything. I think that he checks if you're able to go through something first, and then you can go through that. I don't think that we can ever not be okay. You know what I mean? And I wanna really tell people, because our topic today is it's okay not to be okay, right? You have to understand that the reason why we're saying that is because it's not always gonna be not okay, right? But while it isn't okay, don't be sad about it, because I find myself sometimes stressing about myself stressing, which I'm already stressing, you know what I mean? And it adds so much pressure, and pressure destroys. Pressure really changes a person in such a bad way, but sometimes it could be good, right? But what I really want to highlight in this topic of ours, it's okay not to be okay, is the fact that, number one, trust that you can go through it. Trust that you are in it because it's fit for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, okay. I think we can move on to the third B, right?
Okay.
Are there any questions that you have? You're the host. I'm so sorry.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I am the host. I'm in charge of this thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't judge yourself, because here, this is my court. I'm the one who decides what's happening. But sorry about that. In a nutshell, I'm saying this is a platform. Feel free. Talk your heart out. Talk your soul out. And then I will do follow-up questions later if I do have any questions.
Okay.
And if I do have any comment, this your show, shy. This is your show. You have
Shy.
this. You got that.
Okay. As long as we understood the other B's, right? The bar thing. And oh, someone has a verse nyana there. Okay, nice. All right. The third B, I'm gonna have to make up my own, right? Because I can't use someone else's words, right?
Okay.
I think for me, the third B, as I've mentioned on the other B's, is that I think it would be blessed, you know. Bless it, and then once you've blessed it, understand that it is a blessing as well. Because like a lot of things that we go through, Mukhali, especially the tough things that really mold you and stuff, you end up becoming like a blessing to people, to society, because you've learned something about it, right? If you've ever noticed, I know someone, a friend of mine, who is a graduate now, in IT. He's doing his master's right now. He can write a test and he'll tell you, "Usi, no, I this test I ain't shy this time." You know what I mean? And it's his battle at that moment, and he's able to fight it, right? But whenever I have a problem, he'll help me. He'll help me, right? So I think that even though he feels like, okay, this was a challenge to me, he is a blessing to me. He's a blessing to the world, right? I don't know if it was you who said it, Nat, but I've heard it before, and you said it too. You said that your purpose is not for you. It's not enough for you to. You told me this, right? I remember when we started talking, you said this to me. You said, it's not enough that I know my purpose. I have to help others find their purpose as well. And I think that's what you live for. You live for helping other people, grooming other people, teaching other people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, okay, fine, it's okay, fine. I've gone through stuff. I am who I am, but this isn't enough. I have a purpose out there, and I want to take it to someone else. So I feel like a lot of the times when we're not okay, we forget that it's going to help us and help other people. I always think that we go through stuff to either learn, but we also go through stuff to teach other people as well. I'm able to say, hey, you know what, I've been through this situation. I think that you can do this and this and this. And also understand that people, not in a bad way, Maramukhale, if you've never been through struggles, I won't listen to you. I don't care about you because you've had an easy life, smooth, you know, sailing, you know what I mean? But I'm able to listen to you, Mukhale the motivator, because I know that you've been through stuff. If I say, yo, bro, I'm broke, I'm down and out, you won't say, woo, you know what I mean? You've been broke as well. You know how it feels, you know what I mean? And therefore, like, I can listen to you, right? So I feel like a lot of the experiences, and I'm going back to my third B, you need to bless that experience, right? Because then after that experience, you learn to, like, your soul can be what's the word? Hey, Sehoa. What's the you are able to
Zulu.
nice. Oh, my sister's here. Oh my gosh, Clementia is here, you guys. Oh my gosh, she's here. Hi, Sis Claire. She's a whole psychologist, hey? She's my motivation, I swear. She's the reason why I want to study psychology. Okay. But I was saying that, like, I won't listen to you. I know that you have a book out there, and it's The Untold Truth About Pain, right? You're able to write that book because you know about pain. I won't listen to you if, like, I don't trust that you've been through that, right? And so for me, I think that a lot of the times, I'm going back to my third B, you need to bless the situation because it is a blessing to you and it is a blessing to other people, right? And so you may not see it right now. I don't know what the person who's listening may be going through, or maybe you, Mukhali, maybe you've got challenges that you've never spoken to me about, but you need to know that really you may not see it, my guy, but you really become a blessing with your experiences, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'm done.
Fantastic. So I'm not going to take out
Okay.
anything that you said. But firstly, before I put my 2 cents of worth,
Okay.
I want to take this time and appreciate your father and your sister for tuning in. Because I know what support does to a human being.
Yeah.
And I always say, I'm not always available, but I'll always make time for those who mean a world to.
Yes.
You understand? So I always say to people, there's nobody who is too busy.
Yeah.
They just choose not to create time.
People make time for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But on top of that, I always say, and I think you said it perhaps in a different format, that thou shalt never allow people to sympathize with you. Because sympathy brings comfort. The moment I start to think or perceive that pretty understand what I'm going through, I become comfortable. Because I don't know, I think or I assume that they understand. And they are not. I always say this. It's very difficult to put yourself in someone's shoes if you've never been there. Hence, it's easy for people to start to judge or say the opinions on certain matters that are really heartbreaking because they've never went through that. But on top of that, today's topic, it's okay not to be okay. And what it means, cry in a language that people don't understand. Why? Because if you cry in a language that everybody understands, those people will always give you reasons to cry. But if you cry in a language that they don't understand, the moment they understand the language that you are crying with, you'll be done crying.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes I always say in my language, in English is the secret space. There's a power in the secret space, and take the problems and troubles you have and take them to a secret space.
Yeah.
Find your corner and cry to your God, and always develop that winning attitude that regardless of what I'm going through, I know God will never put a challenge or anything in front of me that I cannot conquer.
Yeah.
For a mere fact that you're going through a challenge, it means God trusted you with that particular challenge.
Yes.
And with that trust given, it's up to you whether you disappoint or you appoint.
Yeah.
Simple. And yesterday I said this. I remember they used to say I'm boring pretty. I was never this high energy. And unfortunately, I was never this high energy or hyped up somebody.
Yeah.
They always say, Magalo or bore, I need to live a little. And little did they know that the time they were playing, I was planning my life.
Yeah.
The time they were judging me, I was planning my life. Hence, everything that I've accomplished right now, at my age, almost even 10% of the people have achieved them in my age. Why? Because I started to take life so seriously from an early age. Not because I was boring. I was preparing, and God was preparing me for such things. So I remember, and I usually say this a lot, in high school, in primary, that's when I started to write my first goal setting with no guidelines. I never knew the so-called goal setting in my life. But I started to write down my goals, what I want to achieve. Interestingly, not only was I writing down, I was only living by what I was writing down. Because words without action are meaningless. If I say I want to be a motivational speaker, but I'm sitting at home and I'm doing nothing, it does not help.
Yeah.
So one of the goals that I written, I remember very correctly and very vividly, is that I will only start dating when I'm in high school. While my peers were dating, doing their things, I was writing short stories. I said this story yesterday that I was born an author. Seriously.
You lied.
Seriously, I was writing short stories from primary school about each and everything that I was thinking, or each and everything that was revolving around the world. I remember one of the most success stories that I wrote that got me to a competition of essays in English. I was doing grade 7 that time.
Wow.
I was writing this short story about this couple. The other one was HIV positive, the other one was negative. By then, I never knew anything about HIV and AIDS. I only heard in radio that there's a disease called HIV and AIDS. It kills people.
Yeah.
Already I've created my own imagination and conclusions in my head that this disease is very dangerous. And I wrote about it. And that got me and won me a competition in grade 7.
How old are you then? 13 or 12 or 13?
Yeah, roughly 13, 12.
Oh.
But one thing that I want to highlight from what you said, and is a very important one, the first B, which people don't really realize, and the second B, the bathing and brushing of your teeth.
Yes.
If you do good, you feel good.
Yes. Yes.
And if you feel good, you do good.
You do good, exactly. So, exactly.
The moment you bath, you feel good about yourself, how you feel, because you know everything.
Wash away all these things. Like it's. I think for me, it should also be symbolic as well. That I'm washing away my troubles. Yes, I may still have that bit, but I'm moving. I feel like at times you need to speak to your problems. You know, speak to your problems and let them respond to you for a change. Be like, you're not gonna destroy me. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. I know a God, and yeah. But you're still saying.
No problem. I told you, this is your show. I just want to highlight something very quickly on the issue of bathing. You know.
Yeah.
Bathing makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Before everybody else can start to think or even comment about how you look or anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bathing your teeth gives you confidence to speak. I'm making noise right now because I know. Hey,
you brush your teeth. You come. I'm fine. I'm covered.
You understand? Because there were times I remember, and this is a very sad story. I remember I slept in a taxi because I never had accommodation in Pretoria. I slept in a taxi for like roughly 1 to 2 weeks. Sleeping in someone's taxi. And sometimes, because obviously I won't have a chance to bath, why will I bath? Because I'm sleeping in a taxi. But when I went to attend at school, that time I was doing this course called It Takes Courage Curriculum. I was doing that. When I was going to attend, I will not feel comfortable to relax, you know, because whenever you are smelling, the first person who's going to hear that is yourself.
Yes.
You know? And whenever you speak here right now, you can hear there's a certain
focusing on are other people smelling me? Am I, you know, like you cannot focus. Yeah, I know that feeling.
So, during that particular moment, the topic of today, which is it's okay not to be okay.
It's okay not to be okay, yeah.
It does not align with you because you are not okay because you didn't do the right things right. And certain things, as much as we undermine them, they are there for a reason.
Yeah.
And before I ask you questions, my final closing remarks will be this. For each and every storm, there is a lesson. And the moment you see a storm repeatedly happening, it means you are not learning.
Yeah. That's
because
true.
God will continuously giving you the same things until you learn.
Yeah, that's true.
If you are not learning, you will remain. By the way, Pretty, here is a young lady.
Okay.
Here is a young lady. He wants to pursue maybe a career in let's say she wants to be a mathematician, because I think that's one of the rarest career choices one will ever go for. I don't even know any institution that offers that, but I know there's a career called a mathematician. But she is discouraged because of so-called the reality at home. when he looked back at home, the opportunities or the challenges are making it hard for him or her. Actually, for her, because we're talking about a girl.
Yeah, girl, yeah.
To move forward. So, what kind of message will you say to that somebody who's saying, I want to do this, but I feel like the storms or the challenges are not favoring me in this regard?
Okay. Wow. Sure. I've watched so many movies now. I'm a movie person. I like movies. And the only difference about life and a movie is that because I've watched the trailer, I already know the ending, right? So I'm always comfortable even when I see this character or the main character is going through a lot of stuff. But me as the viewer, as the person who's watching this, I'm always comfortable because I know that in the end it's gonna work out, right? But the thing about a trailer and a movie is that a trailer only shows you the things that make you interested in the movie, right? But it doesn't show you the entire movie. The movie will show you everything, right? And if the character is going through something and they've fallen, they've lost the business, they've lost money, they owe people money, or whatever it is, I'm interested. I know this person is going to do well. I know that he's going to be the hero in the end. I know that she's going to succeed, but how is she going to move from this situation, right? And what I like to do is that I always like to check how much time is left, because that tells me how many more struggles they're going to go through, right? But in my head, I know this movie is going to end well, right? But how? I feel like life is very interesting for those, like you always say, against all odds. Remember when we started this live, and my network wasn't well, you know what I mean? And when I would go out, fix it, come back, and then I'm like, you can't hear me, but I can hear you. You kept saying she's not online. I'm trying to get her against all odds, against all odds, right? And I was like, this guy, he can see the situation isn't well, but he keeps saying against all odds. You understand? And then I'd watch the thingy load, right? And I hear you speaking, and to me it's like he hasn't given up on me. He told me that we are going live today. I'm here, but there's a problem, right? And even though you see as the host, but you haven't given up on me, right? I feel like with that girl or that guy who feels like my situation isn't well, my circumstance isn't favorable, right? Know that in the end, it's going to be well. But how you get to that is your own choice. It may not happen now. It may not be in the next 2 months or whatever, but trust, you are going to, as long as you want something. Somebody once said, if it wasn't you, you said this, you said, if you want something bad enough, you will go for it, right? There's so many that have happened. I think even without reading the Bible, you know of situations, people like Einstein, people like so many people where I think that it makes it much more interesting. Your story is much more interesting. Your movie is much more interesting to watch if I know that you've gone through stuff. I feel like keep going, my guy. It should be, you should know that I don't want to go through this again. I want to break the chain at home. I want to be the reason as to why people are saying, you know what, we didn't think that we would ever live in a house. We didn't think that I could ever stop drinking. Like, I think a lot of people at home, especially with the lockdown, I've realized that this situation has forced us to deal with our problems, to deal with our families, to deal with stuff that have hurt us and we need to deal with right now. I think that to that girl or that guy, hold on. There's nothing that you can do right now but to change your future, right? You cannot change your circumstance, but you can change your future. I feel like use that. Look around your place. Look around your shack. Look around the fact that you don't have hot water. You don't have electricity. You don't have all of these things, and say, you know what? I don't want to get back to this. I want to make sure that I am a better person. I want to make sure that my family lives better. I feel like, the bigger the why, my guy, the harder it is for you to give up. a lot of us aren't moving from our situations because we're comfortable. I have a family. I've got parents, right? But at times, I'm just like, I don't want to go through this again. I know the pain. I don't want to go through this again. I feel like that should be your motivation, right? But for someone else who has got nothing wrong, they don't have any motivation. They don't have any motivation. Yeah. We were in school with a girl who fell pregnant in matric, and people would laugh at her, you know? But the day that we had to go fetch our results, she came with her baby, and she passed. She made a mistake. A child is not a mistake, but maybe at the time she wasn't ready to be a mother. But here the situation, she's got the child, but she passed along with every one of us. Those who are not pregnant. I wasn't pregnant for 9 months, right? But she fetched the results with me. Let your situation be the motivation. Let your why be bigger. It's okay to not be okay. That not okayness gets you out of not being okay. Nothing else will. That's what I say to the person.
Hey!
Hey!
Lomtwana! Okay, just to add, né? It's okay to live in a shack if only we are not thinking like a shack.
Yo,
it's
stop
okay.
it, stop it. My dad has preached this my entire life. From a young age, he has always preached to me. He always said that that's not the problem. The problem is the mentality, right? He said to me that if you have a shack, you're living in a shack, you buy a car while you're living in the shack, and to you, in the area, as long as you're the one with the car, you're the one who dresses this way, you're the one who has more girls, but to you, it's okay. You're going to stay that way, right? It's okay. You can't change certain things, right? But you can't end or die with the same situation. It's a thought here. Yeah. I'm sorry, carry on.
From my conclusion, because I see people are really enjoying this, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, we have
for allowing
11 people from 4 to
have you in this show, you know. Because my aim was simple. As I told you, I created this platform for young speakers like you to come and speak their mind.
Yeah.
This is a platform where people need to engage and people need to share ideas. And I'm grateful. One of my, when I was in the industry, starting the industry, speaking, there's a guy called Asanda Shabalala. I just tuned in. He was one of the people I was looking at, you know. But right now, he knows. We share the platforms, you know. Yeah. I was looking at him as a motivation, but I was also looking above him. You understand? So, just to conclude from my side, never, ever, and ever in your entire life let the circumstances and the challenges to define or to impair, but most importantly, to change your future. Because pretty where I come from, a lot of people like me or at my age are taxi drivers. And that was a motivation for me not to be like them.
That I don't
because I believe the most precious thing you could ever give to the poor is success. If I become successful myself, I become getting brilliant in whatever that I do, they'll also feel and know that them too can also do it.
My father
so
always
this
yeah.
I'm living my life not only for me, but I'm also living for them, so that them who look up to me will never be disappointed. Them who see me as an inspiration and as a motivation to continue working on their dreams. Because yesterday I was saying, against all odds, there are a lot of things that happened. Unfortunately, my family never supported me. Hence, I told you, I appreciate that your family is online. My family never supported me. Even on good authority, nobody from my side is also tuning in. But it's okay. I always told my friends that you might not understand what I'm doing now. You might not understand what is it that I'm thinking or dreaming of, but you will catch up with me later. When you see the results. It does not matter. The road is meant to be rough and sour. Because I always say it's okay to start, because that to me tells me you know where you're going. If you feel like you lost control, keep on going. And appreciate each and every little thing you achieve in life, because whenever you face a storm, you'll realize I can never come this far to quit right now. I can never come this long way to quit right now. So with that being said, from my side, I thank you, and I thank each and everybody who tuned in today. It really means a lot to me. It really means a lot to you, Pretty. And I just want to thank you in different languages. Tinotenda asante sana. Nikolebua, Nikotenda, Nakenza, Yalemoa. Thank you very much. I love you guys. You guys are so amazing.
I see your cousin. I see your cousin.
And believe. No, I'm surprised actually. I was curious who is Miss Mulala, but I will find out.
I'm telling you.
I'll find.
It's not moved. I don't know if it's a he or a she, but it says you have a bright future ahead of you, and she's speaking to you. And living your present. Oh, she's talking to me. No, she's talking to you. And she says, always a pleasure. I'm sorry. Okay. But she says, always a pleasure listening to the talks I've received this far, Zala. Oh, is she talking to? Oh my gosh. She's talking to me. I think it's my cousin going the world away. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's fine. I want to thank you so much, Mukhali. I want to thank you.
It's a pleasure
for this platform. I do want to add one more thing, though. I think we've been speaking for 40 minutes. Yeah, okay. But I just want to thank you. I think you found me, or you DM'd me in a time where like I just wasn't okay. Ask my dad. My dad would tell you. My mom would tell you. My family would tell you. I love this speaking. I love motivating people, right? But for the past, I think 6 months now, and I always like, I think I've told 2 people, like, lockdown for me has been the best thing that has happened because I think it allowed me to hide away from like how I felt, right? You found me in a time where I'd given up. I have a whole YouTube channel there, but I posted 1 video, and because things got tough for me, I haven't posted, like, I just haven't, because I just felt so demotivated. And I see your statuses, and I'm like, yo, this guy, can you just, some of us are not happy. We're not as happy as he is. You know what I mean? And you post about stuff that are going on. And to me, it hit me really. It's not your fault that I'm going through something. This is your season, right? And it's going to keep going. You're going to get higher from here because this is what you want. I don't know whether you had been down before I met you right now, right? I don't know that. But I see, like I say, I see the flower right now. But I don't know what it took to get the roots to be as strong as they are. I don't know what it took. Like, I don't know what seasons you've been through. I see you, Mukhali, the author, the speaker, the motivational speaker, you know what I mean? But I don't know what you've been through. So I just want to thank you that I think you've lifted me up. You've lifted my spirits. You're one of the few people and people who are really close to me that have lifted me up. And I just want to shout out to people who were not able to be here. A lot of my friends wanted to be here, but they're just busy with something. Some don't even have data right now, but like, I'm really thankful for you and so many people who have tried to lift me up, and I feel lifted. I'm thankful to my parents. I won't lie, Mukhali. God would hit me. My parents are the best. They are very supportive. They are so supportive in a sense, Yoguti. At times when I felt like, why? Why do you, like, why? You know, like, what's there to love? And they've shown me so much love, right? But in case someone who's listening right now has they don't have that support system, or they don't have that, I just want to say that, and it's my last point, I'm done after here. There was this scripture, and I don't know if you remember, in the book of Exodus, when Moses had to take the children of Egypt out of Egypt. I mean, the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? Do you remember the story? Yeah. And I remember it perfectly well. God told Moses to lead them through a longer route, right? It was long and it was hard. And there were so many times where the people would say stuff to Moses, complain and say that, you know what, we don't have food here. We don't have water. It was better when we were in Egypt and we were slaves. I feel like at times when we want something and life shows you, God shows you that, okay, it takes this for you to get there. And when it gets hard, we really want to give up and say, you know what, I was really better poor. I was better in a shack. I was better unemployed. You know what I mean? Because this is hard. You know what I mean? And so they complained. And each time God proved himself, right? And God said to them that I told you to take them this long route because I knew that when it got hard, they'd want to give up and go back to Egypt and become slaves, right? And that to me is like, if it were to be easy, and I'm not saying that life should be hard. I always say that we need to stop thinking that we need to suffer. But if it's hard right now and all that stuff, and you're working towards something, you have a goal, whether it is to lose weight, whether it is to be married, whatever it is, right? Whenever you feel like it's hard, understand that you've come a really long way. God made it intentional for them to go through that long way because he knew that if it got hard, they'd give up and want to go back. And where they were, they need to understand it wasn't a good place, right? And if it's someone who has left a relationship or whatever it is, you need to remember why you left. If it's someone who feels like, I regret being my own person, I regret, like, I want to take my job back, I can't own a business, it's hard. I want you to remember why you left. It's not okay now, but it's not going to be that way. You need to keep moving. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but unfortunately, I think I have to say this. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
There are certain times in our lives where God moves us to certain environments that perhaps we are not liking or we don't feel comfortable in. But those environments makes us to be the people we are today.
Look at Joseph.
I said this yesterday that I was moved from Mostorlosi to go and to stay in the bushes somewhere in Limpopo to go in school where I could not even get out of the school premises. But that environment is the environment that made me to be the person that I am today.
Yeah.
But most importantly, whenever God shows up, he shows off. And I want to highlight and I repeat this. Whenever God comes to your life, whenever he comes to your life, he will always shows off. Never ever in your entire life be impatient with the Lord. Because this journey is a long journey. He knows everything. One day, uzo popa. It might not be now, it might not be later, but one day, uzo popa. Let the people criticize you. The road was meant to be like that. Let the people say you are nothing. But the biggest support system, and I want to highlight to everybody, the biggest support system you could ever get is self-support system. When people are criticizing me, saying, Magali, you cannot be a speaker at your age. People saying, Magali, what is it that are going to tell people at this age? You never achieved anything. What are you going to say? I said to my Lord, I know you chose me to create this route, and I shall live it in your will. Unfortunately, guys, I think there's only 20 seconds left. But in this 20 seconds left, I just want to say to your family, let them continue doing what they're doing. And to your father, big ups. I think he deserves, I repeat, he deserves a bell. Give that man a bell.